Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla. Thanks for stopping by. And in today's video, we are going to continue the theme for Thanksgiving recipes. Last week, I actually shared a paleo pumpkin pie recipe that is super delicious. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. You will not regret it. But today I'm even more excited because I'm sharing with you a paleo, totally grain-free, southern style cornbread dressing. Now in the South, we call it dressing, not stuffing, just so you know. And I'm gonna make it exactly how my grandmother made it, but with grain-free, gluten-free alternatives. Now I'm also gonna share a gravy recipe in this video that's similar to a giblet gravy, but of course gluten-free, dairy-free, all that good stuff that you can serve alongside your paleo cornbread dressing. All right, I am so excited to share this recipe with y'all. I really hope y'all give it a try. Let's jump right in. First, you'll need to make a batch of my paleo cornbread. Now, we'll be using this as the base to our dish. The link to this recipe will be listed in the description box below. And after you've cooked and cooled the cornbread, we're gonna go ahead and begin to crumble it up. Now, you can do this roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just crumble as much as you can. And personally, I like to do a lot of the prep work the night before, but this particular step of cooking and crumbling the cornbread is key to do the night before, because we really need to let that bread dry out in the refrigerator overnight to get the best texture. Now, I'm also going to add 3 pieces of toasted paleo bread. I used the Julian's Bakery brand, the almond flour toast, in order to keep this dish strict 100% paleo. But if you're a little bit more lenient and you're not super strict paleo, you can also use just a regular toasted gluten-free white bread like Udi's. And in fact, to be honest, it actually yields a better texture. But of course, we're keeping this super strict paleo. And then we're just gonna let it sit in the refrigerator overnight for at least 12 to 24 hours to dry out. Another thing that I like to prep the night before is my chicken. You'll simply just bake about 5 to 6 chicken legs, lightly seasoned with salt and pepper, and we're gonna be using this in both the dressing and the gravy. And I also like to go ahead and boil 1 to 2 eggs, which we'll be using in the gravy. So after about 12 to 24 hours, your bread mixture should be pretty dried out, and it's time to make our final preparations. Go ahead and remove the bread mixture from the refrigerator and crumble up the mixture even more if necessary. You do want it to be quite crumbly. Set your bread mixture aside and let's begin prepping our veggies. We'll begin by chopping 1 cup's worth of yellow onion, 1 cup's worth of chopped green bell pepper, and 1 cup's worth of chopped celery. Next up, add about a tablespoon or 2 of grass-fed ghee or coconut oil to a skillet over medium heat, and let's begin sauteing our veggies. And just continue to saute them until they're slightly soft and the onions are translucent. Now, while the veggies are cooking, I like to begin shredding my chicken. Simply remove the skin from the chicken thighs and cut the meat into small shreds. Today, I'm going to use about a cup of shredded chicken meat in the dressing, which is about 2 to 3 thighs, and then I'm going to save the other 2 thighs for the shredded chicken in my gravy. Go ahead and add the shredded chicken and sauteed veggies to the bread mixture, give it a good mix, and now we're going to add the chicken broth. I like to add half of the chicken broth first, give it a good mix, and then add the other half and then mix it really well. The main thing is that you want to try and mix the liquid into the bread mixture as much as possible. Try not to have any excess liquid at the bottom of the pan. There may be a little bit, that's okay, but for the most part you want it to be soaked up into that bread as much as possible. And now we're going to add the seasoning. Now, of course, the seasoning is what makes the dressing. So you really want to get it right. We're going to add some dried sage. We're going to add some dried thyme. And, of course, a little bit of sea salt and pepper. And at this point, you want to taste the dressing. So after you've mixed up all of the seasonings, go ahead and take a bite of it. And you want it to taste exactly how you want your dressing to taste when it's finished, okay? And you can, from there, you can adjust the seasonings, add a little bit more sage, add a little bit more thyme or salt and pepper until you get it just perfect. Once you're completely satisfied with the flavors, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 whisked eggs. Give that a good mix. And then, of course, sort of flatten the casserole out. And now we're going to bake the casserole at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 60 to 75 minutes. And while the dressing is baking, let's go ahead and prep our gravy. Start by adding some grass-fed ghee to a saucepan over medium heat. Then add in about 2 cups of chopped onion and allow the onion to cook until it's translucent and golden. So this takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Once the onions are done, we're going to go ahead and add in some arrowroot starch as our thickener. Give that a good mix. Then we'll begin pouring in the chicken broth. Now I like to add half of the mixture first and then whisk it until it thickens, then add the other half. But the key here is to continue to whisk until it thickens into a gravy. Of course, don't forget to add in a bit of sea salt and pepper. Now to make this gravy more of a giblet style gravy, I'm going to add in some shredded chicken and crumbled boiled egg. And that's it, the gravy's done, so let's set that aside and go check on our dressing. And of course, the dressing looks absolutely delicious. Go ahead and add your gravy and it is time to dig in. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit that subscribe button below for more healthy recipes and contents. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!